Hey, welcome to Unloose the Goose. All right. Well, this is going to be an interesting episode. If you found your way here, maybe you saw one of the little graphical things. Today's episode is going to be about when you decide to move to freedom or walk to freedom. I think that was Jack's old site. Or just, you can't stand the oppression bullshit where you're at and you want to roll. There's practical things that have to be done. A lot of things you probably haven't thought about. So Stan and Nicole have been through that over the last year, and they're at the end of the beginning of that, I guess. They're at the getting ready to move out stage. So what's it like when you got a homestead and you're going to put your place on the market and you want to get some top coins so that you can move to a better place? We're going to hear all about it. That's coming up. Dowie's going to join us. He's screeching home from a hard day at work, trying to throw some food down himself, and he's going to jump on here in a sec. I thought I'd run you through the quick crypto index. So I've been showing this against cryptos against Bitcoin. Bitcoin's been on a little tear. She's up to around 43,000 last night. So if you look at that in units of Ether, 14.8 to buy a Bitcoin. Monero, you're looking at about 134 to buy a Bitcoin. Litecoin Cash, 246 to buy one, or Bitcoin Cash, 392. All right, so that kind of shows you the relative strength of the different cryptos against Bitcoin too. This chart's going to be interesting to watch over time, see which ones are getting stronger and weaker versus Bitcoin. All right. Okay, well, with that, let's get into the meat of the show and bring on Stan and Nicole. Oh, let's see. Ta-da! Hey, look at that.
Hey.
What's the buttons? How are you guys?
Great. I actually just realized I have my overalls on. It's perfect for the show.
Oh, it's homesteading. Yeah.
Right.
Well, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, we get to see the ceiling kind of half painted up behind you. You've been working ass off. No, you've been doing work because, okay, it comes down to it. You are T-minus 2 weeks from putting the stake in the front yard, and you already know there's a bullpen of batters. It's Seattle. It's going to be crazy towns.
Yeah.
So
it's not even going to end up being listed. It's not going to have to be. And we can talk about some of those tricks too.
Yeah. So tell us about the whole tell us about the walking to freedom. Why did you decide to walk? And then the other part of the episode is avoiding the pitfalls and such, right? So kind of guide us through that.
We're here in Washington, actually not far from you, Brian. And they've really been hiking the property taxes. And we just got our taxes raised almost another $200 a month for the place that we have. And though for some people it's not that much of an expense, for us with what we're doing, living on the homestead and the size of our homestead that we have, it's just not adequate to keep that going. You know what I mean? So with the increase in housing and everything, what we're going to do is take that extra equity and invest it into a much larger piece of land. And when we came to the conclusion of, okay, so we want to buy more land. So where do we buy this land? What do we want to be able to grow? And so we went through this whole adventure. You probably heard us 1 week we're we're going to Oregon. Next week,
okay, now people don't know your place right now. So your place right now is a normal neighborhood sized lot that you have turned to a complete homestead with ducks and what do you got, 100 different species of edibles?
So it's actually kind of crazy at this moment of what we have. So we started out with just this lot. It's a little over 1/8 of an acre. It's under a quarter. So, probably somewhere around a third. Or that was wrong. But anyways.
Yeah. It's a normal house lot.
Small lot. And half of it's all gravel almost on one side. And then the other half is yard. It's a smaller 2-bedroom. But it's perfect size for a couple or, 1 or 2 kids.
It's a
like our
great
dad
place to
here, and
live.
it's comfortable enough here. But
Yeah.
the whole back was just dead. It was just all ivy and overgrowth of like blackberries and different stuff. And
more than half the yard was ivy.
yeah, it was almost all ivy. It was like literally
And you
ivy
put in
carpet.
stuff with permaculture, like thoughts of like taking care of itself once it was up, right? So now that you're moving,
I got a background in landscaping. I've done quite a bit of it. So, and I know how to do edible landscapes. So what we did was over the course of us being here is every week at the farmers market, we would invest into more plants because we invested in this place like we could live here forever, even though we knew even buying this land that we eventually were going to step up to larger land. But we wanted to be able to focus on a small platform to really get, your hands dirty, get everything working, get the system up and running so it works like clockwork.
That way, when someone moves in, they have everything they need.
So
I think it's going to be awesome.
We have a duck ecosystem here.
Ecosystem.
Yeah, you don't.
We call it quackaponics.
And
it is.
So everything revolves around the ducks, and we also have pigeons too, which add to the cycle as well. But the main focus is the ducks because of what they do with water. They make like the perfect compost tea. They take high sugary nutrients, the grain, and then all the grasses and slugs and things that they eat. And then plus all the oyster shell that they eat, and they grind up rocks too, and they're gizzards. So they're literally grinding all these minerals, everything together, and they're shitting it into the water, creating this perfect solution for the plants.
And then spray it everywhere, all over.
And then we spray
your biofilter that's always moving.
Right. So it didn't start out that way. We started out with a swimming pool.
For a long
time. And I slowly over time dug this pit because where we're at, and we actually have our own septic here, where it is located, it would be pretty difficult to get in any type of equipment. And so I hand dug the entire pond, and it's over 2,000 gallons. So most people, when they build a pond for themselves, they're really happy if they can keep the cost around $1 a gallon. And I got over a 2,000 gallon pond for less than $500 investment, and it's running off a 60-watt solar panel, so the pump can continuously run. And so then there's no added charge to run the thing. Once it's built, the system's running, and maybe every few years or so you gotta get a new pump or whatever it is.
So let's talk about
you think that's going to like help sell your place, like people will just get it?
Yeah, so
you're gonna you have a realtor who gets it, right?
It should help sell our place for sure, because it's beautiful and it makes a really nice sound, and it's going to attract all the frogs once our ducks are gone. That thing's going to be filled with frogs.
We're on a mobile device, so I might as well just show you
take us for a walk. Take us for a walk.
So here, let me show you. Yeah, throw me on the screen. So
is it not raining? Oh, it's not raining sideways out your way. Oh yeah, geez.
Yeah, we're raining a little bit, but see right here the pond that they go into right behind the aviary. You see, I made that out of sheet metal. I repurposed pallets to make the door. Made it beautiful all the way around with a nice slow sloping roof, so you can see the rain just dripping off, and you get this nice little
look
waterfall.
At your pigeons.
And then you have a waterfall there too, so it keeps it.
And the fire pit area.
Yeah, fire pit area. So you can, and then there's enough room for like 20 people to park here too, so you can just have a nice spot. And then a massive garden back there. The whole back there is a garden. And so you can, and then here, all the way through the front, this whole yard, you got your nice grass, but it's all lined with blueberries and underneath them strawberries. And the reason for that is they work beneficially with each other. So having blueberries and strawberries are like essential, and you have multiple fruit. And so up here in Washington is like one of the perfect states.
Do you keep your ducks out of strawberry land?
Strawberries.
Do you keep the ducks out of the strawberries?
So seasonally.
Okay.
So actually, they are great coming up here and foraging. They want slugs. So the thing is with ducks is you can't let them over forage, because once there's not enough worms and slugs, then they go for the berries. But they prefer worms and slugs more than fruit, unlike chickens. Chickens will go for that fruit first. So because they like that sugar, just like they like the
I always thought ducks were more carnivore.
Yeah, they really like meat. Like well, because even when they're slopping in the water, they're eating all these little crustaceans and different things. Like they eat a lot of protein, and that's why their eggs are so much more healthier too. So whoever buys this, they don't have to have ducks to make this work. And in fact, if they don't, like, it's just going to still be beautiful, and they just change the filter less often.
You could run it with koi or goldfish, whatever.
There's already goldfish in there.
Yeah, so, that's enough nutrient for most.
And then clams are being introduced this week. So, and they're razor clams, delicious freshwater clams for eating. So not only will they filter the water, but as you cycle them over a couple of years, then you can have clams. You can just wade down into the pond, grab some clams out. Don't harvest them all, of course, but then, enjoy saute some clams a couple times a year. So, but
have you ever thought of blue shrimp?
The blueberries are actually starting to pop right now. They're going to be getting blooms through here. But we have 20 blueberry plants, or maybe 22, and there's like 17 different varieties. There's even the pink lemonade. Those things are delicious. And these are all young. All of these are going to create a hedge that's as high as the fence.
he said you don't have a duck or a slug problem, you have a duck deficiency.
right, exactly. So,
ducks they're great.
One thing interesting about ducks that I have observed, because we have a duck that's injured, so she can't walk well, as ducks are able to vibrate the ground and attract worms to the surface. She can sit there and just munch on worms without even moving.
So she just wiggles her other foot or something?
No, she vibrates her beak on the surface of the ground.
And they come
vibrating the beak, and the worms will come to the surface thinking it's rain or something. And and also, ducks keep moles away.
Okay.
They won't stop them from coming into the yard, but they will stop them from living in your yard.
Right.
So you might have one pass through, but they do not like the vibrations that ducks put on the ground.
And my ducks were pretty good, like going after like rats, mice. They, there weren't really a lot by the coop.
No, if they don't eat them, then they at least run them off.
Right. It's a fair fight, and they go someplace easier. Like a neighbor that's feeding the cats.
Exactly, which is like right over here. So
oh, that's great. Nice. Okay, so talk about the other day when I came to see you, Stan. You had to start making decisions, right? Because now you can't you're moving a whole way across the country. Like stuff has to go, or like you can't take it all. Like you have a homestead. There's no possible way to take a tenth of it.
And then, like, whoever buys this, you know what I mean? They don't want to just, like, inherit all kinds of shit that people just have sitting here. That's one thing that people do when they have homesteads. They accumulate things. We have. And so right now we've been in the shedding process. And I want to thank you for helping coming over and moving some stuff with me. That was great. It was a good time. Had a lot of fun.
Decided
all that steel disappeared. I put an ad up, and less than 2 hours later, gone.
Stan had been sitting on that, like worrying about getting rid of it for how many months, and literally we took some of it to the dump, but a lot of it we just piled by the street and put literally a free sign on it, and the stuff we didn't even think was gonna go. Think how much more stuff we probably could have put up there.
Yeah, actually, now that I think of it, but I moved the refrigerator, so they took the refrigerator.
That's what I mean. Like that. Oh yeah. So anyway, if you guys are like hesitating, cleaning some spaces out because you might want to be getting ready to go. Don't make it weigh you down. You're going to have to make decisions. I've moved like 13 times in my life. So I'm having this conversation from like, I get it. Like, but I've lived here 10 years, as long as I've lived anywhere. But I'm making myself kind of go through a pretending I'm going to move.
So I want to show you one feature about our office that we have here. So me being landscaping in the past, I mean, I have multiple backgrounds, but just what I did was I designed this. So see this tree growing here blocks all neighbor view. But when you look this way, sitting here, you have a perfect view of the fire pit, of the pond, the aviary. And that aviary doesn't have to be used as an aviary. That'd make a great spot for your dogs, spot for you hold your bikes, I mean, whatever you want.
So you decided you guys are going to take the bank from buying really smartly in a crazy West Coast coastal city and go back to some sanity. What was your like checklist of like where you're headed? Like what was the top sanity checks of like where to go?
So that was the big thing. So we thought initially, okay, Oregon, because Oregon has pretty good laws about cannabis, starting to get good laws about mushrooms. I mean, I know that's not everybody's partay or whatever, but
yeah, you know what though? Hold on. This is what Jack like helped me with 10 years ago, that it's like, okay, people, it's time to get real. Whatever your thing is, it's your thing. Just be your thing. If it's race cars or women or whatever, do it. Be it. Just don't if as soon as you follow your thing, decisions get easier. Okay, so Stan decided part of the checklist has to be cannabis earth medicine friendly.
Right.
Which I have too.
So it's just it's part of the history. So we were looking at Oregon because we have history in Oregon. We love Southern Oregon.
Yes.
But land's pretty expensive in those places, especially like where we're wanting to be.
Because coastal Oregon,
not everything's going all the best in that area, and plus the fires. We've dealt with fires there. We don't really like having to deal with all the smoke and everything.
Very hard. If people haven't lived in a forest fire area, they should think about it before they just move to Idaho. You're going to be breathing pine smoke for literally 12 weeks a year. Like you can't filter it.
No. So then we were like, okay, my kids are in Florida. The whole Let's Go Brandon thing, the mayor of Florida or governor of Florida was being pretty cool with that. Things that like a lot of people are liking the freedoms that like they're presenting. And so we were like, okay, we will let's check out Florida because that'd be awesome to be next to the kids.
Right. Family adds it up on the list.
It's kind of like
freedom,
the
family
Texas for the East Coast people.
And you can eat, you can fish, and
going to Florida instead of Texas.
Yep.
And
we did a
lot of research into Florida. And the building.
Yeah, you were almost putting money down, right?
We threw money down. We had land on contract. Like we're serious about it. Like if I'm gonna move somewhere and I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna throw the cash down. I'm gonna commit to it because when you make that kind of commitment, you're gonna make sure shit is done because you threw a good amount of shit done. Now, so we did our due diligence. So one thing that people have to do: don't take a realtor's word. Don't take the local people's word. Call the zoning department. Talk to the building guy because even if you plan on doing shit hush hush and not saying a word to anybody, you want to know what kind of reaction the local municipality is going to have when they find out.
Yes.
It's my favorite phone call to make. Yeah, you don't have to say this is Jim and I'm looking at RX parcel Y. You just are like, hey, I'm looking at land.
Yeah.
You do not give them the partial number that you are actually looking at. Do not do that ever.
But just the blood pressure check of the "Are you cool with" call is so. Like some of them are like, why are you calling me? Like that's
They get very frustrated if you don't give them the partial number, but it's very important not to because then they're not just like looking at that land and taking notes about what your wanting to get away with.
Right.
So,
okay. 2 seconds.
What I do is
give them a jerk off, right?
No.
They're so
just
important. You don't want to waste their
navigate
time.
the conversation.
Yes,
Navigate
dominate.
the conversation.
Just
You know what I mean?
as soon as they pick up the phone.
Don't put the cart before the horse. Simply let them know the process you're at. You just say, "Hey, I find your county interesting, so I'm looking for land in your area." You know what I mean? Not that you have found it, not this partial or anything. I'm looking for land in your area. These are the things that I like to do. You know what I mean? I like to host hip camp, or I, want to live in my RV, or I want to build a tiny house.
Or I want to live completely off grid and not be forced
to have electrical.
To sign up or hook up.
Right.
Yeah. You
in
get some.
Florida, many places, yes, you can live off grid, but you are still paying the minimum meter charge a month to the utility.
And do they come and bring it and hook it up?
And you have a smart meter there on your land, because they're all smart meters.
And that's radiating very bad frequencies. And
that's
so
what, I don't want you.
If that's something you want to be away from.
Right. And
look into it. Yeah. Look into
another thing that we did too was we looked up the 5G map across the country. Because
Mercer Island is pretty packed and loaded with 5G towers.
Yeah, I was actually surprised how little downtown Seattle had compared to Mercer Island.
I think the high-rise buildings and all the cement, it's not as good as when they So you guys are looking for like low, just
that's one
EMF radiation, because you say so the new place you want to camp, right?
Folks that can I think both of us we can hear the towers.
So you want to, and you're going to have a hip camp. Well, okay. Hold on, we'll get to the new places, what you're going to do with it. So keep talking about to the housing person for the county, and we're quizzing them.
Right, and then also what you really want to find out is the partial ID, because it's not on listings. So you want to find out exactly where that land is. Look at it on Google Maps. Look at it on, several different places. And look up the owner too. So that way you know that whoever the actual owner is who you're buying from. That will come up in a title search. So anytime that you buy land, you're going through a title company. So if you're not, you need to, because you got to make sure, because what the title company does is they do that search for you. And they have title insurance. So if they fuck up and they sell you the wrong property and that really wasn't the owner, it's the title company's fault. And in our society, it's always CYA. Cover your ass. Who can you point the blame at? You know what I mean? And try and keep the blame pointed from yourself.
And it's the legal listing on the title that you're buying. So you should go make sure the corners are in the right spot, and like the neighbor's house isn't in the middle of your field. And
or that you're a house that's in the owner. I mean, there's people who bought the Brooklyn Bridge and the Eiffel Tower that clearly do not own it right now.
Here, I'll throw us on smaller boxes. We'll see if this works. All right, John, what are you up to?
Hey, what's shaking?
Oh, just chatting with Stan and Nicole. They're telling us that the homestead's going up for sale here in like 2 weeks, and buyers are stacked and racked, so they're going to have to move. So
right,
we're up to they're looking at Florida, and then I think you're about to tell us you backed out on the land deal, right? What didn't you like on it?
Go for it. Let us know.
Did you freeze, Stan? Oh shit! Stan froze.
I was listening in. On the way here.
There you go, Stan.
So when we looked at county,
the feds got him. The EPA, they showed up.
I know.
It's too much fucking environmentally friendly things going on, so they showed up.
I know. Oh, there you go. Okay, hold on. You're back to better, Stan, but you're sideways. He's like, it's like John or Noah. When Xavier does that too. He goes on his phone and then it goes wonked.
Yeah. So I was listening in. I do have some have duck questions. We're all duck
Dowie, if
farmers,
you ever
right?
sold your place, what would you do? Like Jesus. Where would
Big
you
fucking
start?
bonfire. Big fucking bonfire. Just burn everything. No, I'm just
No,
I actually,
really. We were talking about that yesterday when I helped him move some of the stuff to the dumps.
So
He's
much.
been
Yeah.
burned,
When you run a homestead, there's so much stuff, and it's like, and you just
Here we go,
accumulate so
yeah.
much stuff. It's always tough, you know. Like I look around sometimes and think if I ever had to move again, it would be, and I probably will. It would be really a challenge. I would have to sell things, get rid of things, you know. It sounds like you were talking about tough decisions as I was walking in the door here to the studio, and it made me start thinking about what I really do need to do around my place, because you keep stuff because you're like, I'm going to use that someday. And then, of course, the thing that happens is you think you're going to use that thing someday, and then finally you throw it the fuck out, and then a week later you actually need it.
Yeah, and that's the exact day you need it. No,
and then that event sticks in your brain every time you're like, I'm going to throw something away, and then you're like, yeah, but I'm going to need it in 2 weeks, because if I throw it out, that's when it'll come up, you know?
Well, okay, so Stan was moving and throwing out all this great, crazy amount of stuff like steel, right? But I like made my thing. I couldn't take anything unless I could justify to Candace.
Yeah.
When it came home with me, what I was going to do with it, like in the next 2 weeks, I had to have a plan to come back. If not, you have to be ruthless. Like, you know, and the thing is, goddamn, everything you can find on Craigslist right now for free.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, just kind of if it's one of those, I might use it someday, get fucking rid of it, because you'll find it on Craigslist for free 3 weeks from now.
And a lot of it for me, and I'm sure some other people suffer from this. I grew up super poor, right? So you grew up with poor people mentality, and there's a lot of stuff I keep that I know that I could just afford to buy if I ever actually needed it in 5 years. And it would be out of my fucking way for 5 years, which would actually be an advantage. It would help me probably make more progress in my life and get things done by not having it in the way and not having to constantly shuffle.
Yeah.
Oh, there they are. How are you?
Not adding stuff. Like, you got to value your free space, right? Like,
exactly. And I'm on a small.
All right.
So I was listening to this on the way in. Unlike last week when I jumped in and had no idea what was going on, or 2 weeks ago. But anyway, it's interesting because we're all duck people. There's that, I think, right? We all have ducks.
Yes. Oh, yeah, your logo's even a duck. I love it.
Yeah, I have like 60 to 80 or something. But my question to you guys is, I have a small piece of land too, and I have too many ducks is what I've determined, but I'm not going to start killing them because they're just not worth it. How many ducks do you actually have on that small piece of land?
So we have 5.
Right now.
Oh, wow. Do you want 70 more?
No, that's right sized. 5's right, because you're
not on this piece of land. So the reason why we have 5, we've had 10. Well, at one moment we had like 12. But anyways, the reason why 5 is because the amount of grazing area that we allow. This land could handle up to about 8 to 10 ducks on the grazing area. But that keeps our food costs way down by having optimal grazing area for them. And then that keeps them from destroying our yard and from them adding too much manure to the area.
Nice. Yeah. Yes. And that's why
a 2,000 gallon pond, I can use 2.5 gallon charcoal for a filter. And that's good for over a month with 5 ducks. Now, if you increase that number, those 2,000 gallons with the displacement of the soil, you either have to churn that water by replacing it and using it on your crops quick enough to keep it clean enough, or so you got to find the balance to the relative size. So you simply do that by having more and reducing it back until your shit stops getting destroyed.
Yeah. That was my. So you answered my other.
Prune back until destruction ends.
You answered my other question, which was when I was a kid, when I first started keeping ducks in like 1990. I dug, I don't know the gallons. It was maybe 12 by 10. I hand dug this pond that was probably 12 by 10, maybe 3 feet deep, right? And it was like we had maybe 20 ducks, and it was filled back in within a year because they all the dirt on their feathers, all the dirt in their nose, all the dirt on their feet, it all gets, and then the minute they hit water, they shit. So all that just gets brought right in. and falls to the bottom. And, you know, it's like the best way to fill in a pond is ducks. Probably,
Right.
you know.
The best way to make clay is ducks.
Yeah, we already had it. That's why we were able to dig a pond. This is upstate New York. So I'm an East Coast guy. You guys are all West Coast.
I do interlocking 300-gallon Rubbermaid tanks buried in my front yard that looks like two little ponds, but they're connected under.
Yeah.
And they would shit the hell out of them, right? And I kept a 0.5 horsepower sump pump in there. And I would just plug it in occasionally and had a garden hose hook up that you couldn't see. And I would run the 100-foot garden hose all around and water the fruit trees. So
Nice.
I would use the macerating sewage pump to literally spread the shit on the fruit trees intentionally. So I kind of used it as poop collection.
How many ducks do you have?
Oh, I deducted this place. We were up to we had 54 and my yard got trashed and Candace got mad.
See, I had back on strawberries. I had one year, I had a deal with a restaurant to do meat ducks for them. And I was going to need, because we get harsh winter here. So I was going to need to run 175 meat ducks before winter actually came. And he backed out on me. So
what were you going to get for a meat duck wholesale?
$8 a pound.
Okay, you were doing it by pound. I usually just do them $20 at the gate.
Yeah, so we had a deal. He backed out. I think they're there. And I ended up keeping them, and I was leasing a piece of land, and I ended up not being able to do that because I wasn't going to make any money on these ducks now, and I didn't have a backup buyer or anything or a contract, which, you know, you learn, right? And I brought them to my property, which is 0.7 acres. And I used to have really nice strawberry patches, and then 175 meat ducks happened. And they, you know, like you said, when they run out of grubs, which I think that probably a 10 square mile radius ran out of grubs for that. But they all ended up, I processed the males, and we sold the other half of the females because we took straight run. And they went to a hatchery, a guy that hatches for his own meat ducks. And also on a side note, don't ever order from Ridgeway Farm in Ohio because it's the worst hatchery on the planet.
For bad for not ethical for ducks.
Awful. Leg problems, just all kinds of weird issues that we had with those meat ducks. And then the guy that I sold the half of the flock to was working with them because they had such a good price. And that guy would take 5,000 ducks at a time because he was like a real big meat producer. And he had so many problems with those ducks from Ridgeway that he ended up suing them.
Okay. So Stan, as far as being able to turn a property.
Yeah. Sorry, we're back up. Yeah.
Being ethical or being focused on the not letting the ducks fuck up a property.
Yeah.
Ducks
So
properties if you don't intentionally manage them.
So if I had to sell my property, I would have to lose 75% of my flock because I have too much right now. And we're working on that slowly anyway, but.
And then grass seeded or clover seeded or something, green seeded.
Yeah, exactly. So it sounds like they're a little farther ahead. I'd be real. Where are they? Oh, are they there? Are you there?
Oh man,
keep cutting out.
We're having like craziest rainstorms.
No way.
Yeah, it's like atmospheric river, I think.
Not out there.
Like highways are collapsing.
Oh my God.
The link between I-5 and the valley that goes out to I-90 over the mountain, the westbound side collapsed, like onto the roadway yesterday.
Holy shit. That's
Candace
scary.
and I were looking at that 2 weeks ago. We're like, man, if this rain keeps up, those houses are coming down into the freeway. So
wow.
Yeah.
See, everybody tells me, I don't know how you live in New Hampshire, but you know what? All I get is snow. I don't get anything else. I don't have any other problems. All I get is a little bit of snow. I get 8 inches of snow 4 times a year. I don't get any mudslides. I don't get any fucking hurricanes. We get a hurricane technically, but it's bullshit.
Okay. Hey, since you're a northern guy too and Stan's back, Stan. So you ditched Florida because you did your due diligence, right?
Right.
So then you
it's important that when you do put a land under a contract, you give yourself enough time to do the due diligence and you focus on that. And you hit it with every way, and you don't let anything like deter you from seeing the full picture. If there's anything that will stop you from being you, and stop you from doing what you want to do, even if you don't care about being a vigilante and being anarchist. If that area is not welcoming to what you want to do, don't step into it because you're only going to rub. And we anywhere in the world our focus. We need to be able to create.
Hey Brian,
by
can we bring them in?
Vision plan doing it. Look, this house here, we knew before we bought it we would be selling. Oh, are we cutting out?
You're cutting out a little bit. Can we bring him in without video? Is that doable?
Okay.
Yeah, see if you just turn your video off, it stabilizes your stuff.
Oh,
is that a thing?
Oh, do I got to do that? Oh gosh,
I'm gonna
down on
turn
the bottom,
the
maybe.
laptop on real quick. Get off the phone.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just reboot whatever. We're yakking.
Quick.
Okay.
You go do your thing, and we'll talk in the meantime.
Sweet. Okay. Here,
yeah, man. So I have questions to them about what they do for a living and where they're going and where they're like. So were they in Florida before?
No, they were going to buy that land. So the story is going to they decided on northern Michigan, the Upper Peninsula.
Oh wow.
If you take some of the land and permaculture stuff he's been doing and combine like all the like rocket mass heaters and thermal batteries and
cool.
like underground greenhouses and like put the stuff together in a place that will let you fuck with the, excavate, cut trees.
Well, it sounds like it's going to be interesting to follow along. I hope does he have a YouTube or anything going on?
Yeah, they totally do. Yeah. He's a Shannon project on almost everything.
Because that sounds great. I mean, it's UP's much colder than where I live, and I built a couple rocket mass heaters in my time, just not alone at workshops and here and there. But and I it's funny because the rocket mass heater thing's always been something I want to do, and I literally sell metal barrels, and I have 3 pallets of perlite for growing.
You can do it any day. You just
have half the shit, and I keep hay bales, and I have clay. Like, what are we doing here? I have everything but the stovepipe, and I probably have that somewhere because I haven't thrown it out.
I was talking to him yesterday about how he's going to circulate the water. It's pretty interesting. He's going to do one loop in this thing that's got coolant in it, right? So it can get over temped, so that it can go into a sauna onto like a steel plate or like an aluminum plate with hollow, so it can circulate the antifreeze through it over 212. Yeah. So when you throw water on it in the sauna, it'll vaporize. And that way you got a sauna with no combustibles.
Oh, okay. That's
right. So it'll be clean, like nothing burning.
That's an interesting, because my main goal with water and frozen water is just ducks, right? Right. We have a commercial duck flock essentially, and it's expensive to heat water thawed with electricity, especially New Hampshire is not very friendly with electricity prices. It's one of the few things that is actually expensive here compared to the rest of New England.
We had talked so if you go into the earth, right? The earth always wants to be 50
like
degrees.
53, whatever it is.
Yeah. So it always pulls to 50. So if you can go into the earth and then put a cooler around you, like a thermal break. Yeah. Man, you can really like go down, right? And then thermal break.
I like this idea though of linking the two ideas of a rocket mass heater with copper tubing, maybe with an antifreeze solution in it that's not going to be toxic to the birds, and then running that through a pool of water to keep that thawed.
Right. You just put did you ever brew beer and you had a wort chiller?
Yep. I still have one.
Counterflow wort chillers, all that is, right? Except you want good tight ends on it so you don't get ever a drop into the whatever. But it's counter circulating.
Same idea.
Heat transfer is beautiful.
And if it's running off a rocket mass heater, whatever. It's not like you're buying the fuel. It's falling out of the fucking sky at my house.
Yeah, pallets around and whatever, just junk. Yeah. And you run that thing. God, you can't have fish in it and get it really hot then cold, like big tanks. But do you have fish in your duck tanks?
No, I only use I use little blue kiddie pools and I dump them.
Oh, okay. Dump. See, that's what
My
I was
place
getting
is
tired of
it's a mess.
I got tired of doing that. So I sunk those 300-gallon ones actually into surface level so they look like kind of nice little kitschy ponds for the Airbnbers. But really, it's just a sucker bet to make the ducks come into them so that I could have my macerating pump.
How
I flip it on. Those 300-gallon ones are like 32 inches deep. 36
Oh, you bought
inches
the
deep.
poly tanks or something?
Yeah, just buried them.
You know what I have? I have a cheap source of IBC totes I cut in half.
Yeah, okay, shit. So if you bury like 4 of those next to each other and make like a simulated looking pond, say with like the cross beams in the middle, so it looks like nice to maybe put some whatever. Yeah. Oh, the ducks are probably just stand on them.
They're going to stand on it. But that's that's the reason I was asking you, because even with a deep kiddie pool, the ducks, they have trouble getting in and out sometimes. And like here in the winter, if you get a duck in a pool that can't get out in the middle of winter, you have a dead duck.
I do. So we put chicken coop wire into all the ponds so that there's always like a ramp of wire to walk up out of.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, it saved baby ducks many a time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ducks in water. You wouldn't think it would kill them, right? But it does.
Oh, it's crazy.
Time. They freeze.
Hey, somebody asked about strawberries under pine trees. Or under blueberry bushes under pine trees, and I think the answer to that is just your basic permaculture principle of layers, right? Or is that what it's called? Layers. So they have the rhizomal. And then
I think it's about the acidity of the soils.
Yeah, I would just try it. I mean, look, you can adjust acidity, and roots will find what they want.
Right. Little
compost. Do some sheet mulching under there, maybe. Throw your strawberries down. Maybe throw some mint down too. I mean, I love mint. Everybody freaks out about mint, but I'm like, fuck you, let it grow. I'll pull a chunk out here and there and put something else there occasionally.
Oh,
I also make $500-$600 a year selling mint because of it. But
my favorite thing is when people freak out about bamboo. Like bamboo will take over. I'm like, okay. You let me know when it does, because I'll be there with the shovel to sell that shit. You know how much it goes for? That's why there's signs on everybody's bamboo, like this is privately owned. Do not dig.
It's a trendy yuppie now, but yeah. So I don't know if they're gonna reconnect.
Building with it is fun. I don't know what happened to. I don't know what happened to Stan. Let's see. Is there anything I can do on this end? Edit mic settings. All they can do is kick him out, which would make him. They won't let me do anything. Stan, you're like static and robotic.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. Yeah. Oh well.
I'm trying to think if there's any way to like fix that. God, we don't have a way to do callers.
There's some good pod.
Okay, so get this for my little show. I'm at 10 a.m. Central or 10 a.m. Pacific or noon Central, right? On Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So I interviewed Anthony Samaroff today, the author of Universal Basic Income For and Against. But on the top of my website, on the podcast page, I put a blue old school radio call-in button. You just click that little thing. It's a link. It's the StreamYard link for the episode of the day for my personal show at Scramblin University. And
I saw that. Yeah.
Bam, you're on the air. And
so put you right on here on StreamYard.
We'll put you down in the bullpen, right? And
yeah.
I see you're there, and then I pop you on, and I'll yak to anybody about anything. And
nice.
People that are shy, when you get that StreamYard thing, you don't click it and immediately are on the air, or even in the bullpen. It opens up to a screen where you have to type in what you want your username to be. So type in something, whatever. You don't have to be you. You can be something funny. You don't have to share your camera. You can just come on with your mic. So it'll have like an initial of whatever funny thing you put up. It'll just be a black screen.
Yeah.
But you can come on and be like old timey radio, my Fox News caller.
That's great. That's great.
So I don't have to watch Fox News anymore, right?
Yeah, right.
Well, tell me, like 30 seconds or less, I get the whole spiel of the day.
Yeah, I've been putting the news on the last week, obviously, for obvious reasons, right? Just to make sure that I'm not missing any mushroom clouds or anything.
This radiation suit check.
My God. It sucks. You know what's annoying? I know this isn't that show, but like you know, I put that on while I'm planting or something to try to watch something. I just use YouTube and
play to the background.
Then the next day you find out that 75% of what you saw was bullshit because there's so much fucking propaganda out there now. But I gotta say, the good thing is now we have the fucking internet. Like, the propaganda, my dad is 80 almost, and the propaganda that he will regurgitate from the 70s, from like the 50s through the 70s and 80s is absurd, right? And I know it's bullshit, but whatever. All right, let him believe it. They didn't have a way to fact check this shit then, right? They just watched Walter fucking Cronkite, told them what they needed to know, and you believed every bit of it. Now at least we know that like the ghost of Kiev was bullshit because we have the fucking internet to fix that for us.
But you're talking like you actually know it was bullshit within like, I don't know, 36 hours.
Yeah, it was nuts. Yeah, because like I had a friend over Sunday night, I think, late, like because I'll plant and then my buddy will come over and we'll watch a movie and fucking hammer some drinks, right? have a little Zambuca. So
party.
Yeah. So he's telling me, and he's like, he's a good dude, you know, he's like kind of a little right, almost libertarian, you know, whatever. And nowhere's near as extremist as me. And he was like, oh, this fucking fighter pilot that goes to Kiev, and he's telling me all about it. I'm like, oh, and he goes, like 12, shot down like 12 planes. And I'm like, that smacks of bullshit to me. There's no fucking way that this guy's like a double ace pilot against the Soviet Air Force in like a day. You know what I mean? So, and then 2 days later, not even, it's like, oh, that was a video game. And I'm like, you fucking assholes, a video game? Like, I was so annoyed with this. But I don't know. I have thoughts, but I don't know if you want to go there.
And it's the narrative. No, the whole. So Anthony and I were talking about it this morning. Was like the stream of bullshit is just brown at this point.
I said earlier,
getting hosed.
I said earlier, I go, look, the fucking propaganda is so deep that I wouldn't be surprised in 2 months if we found out there was never even a fucking war there. Like it's that bad. Like, I'm sure there is. I'm not saying that. I know people are probably suffering, and that fucking blows. Being anti-war, I'm not interested in that ever happening.
No, I'm with you. But
I wouldn't be shocked one bit if we found out it was 100% bullshit in like 3 months. You know, I'd be like, oh, of course it was. You know.
So I got woke up this morning to here's the latest news. Yeah, there's 200,000 people dead. And I said, okay, hold on. So all of Vietnam, like a decade of us trying to fucking whack people, and we lost like 54,000 ish, right? A decade of the war machine rolling. Yeah. And you're really telling me at 200,000, stack them and rack them? Like, I haven't seen like that. You would take bulldozers, like show me the pictures.
And I mean, look, we carbon bombed the fuck out of the whole Middle East for 20 years, and we only killed 5 million people. So there's no way that they racked up 200,000 in a week.
So the propaganda, right? It's like, it's so on tilt.
Yeah. And it's feeding the fear. It's feeding the fear. They got to replace. I think it's this. Think about this.
Yes.
When if you have a child, right? And you fucking scream at that child every day from the age of wicked early until it's 15. Every fucking day, just verbal abuse, screaming at this child. By the time that child is 6 and he goes to touch the stove and you go, get the fuck away from the stove, he just ignores you because he's used to being yelled at, right? The American public is the child now because they've been kept at this fucking level of fear so high with COVID and all this bullshit that now they gotta like go, oh, maybe nuclear war, maybe World War III. They got what's next? Fucking aliens?
Like the literal idiocracy. Get this. They literally had to they repealed the other day. It was a big deal that the bicycle helmet law for Seattle has officially been repealed because the only people that got tickets, guess who?
People with money.
No, black people,
out of state. Oh, okay.
Black people and homeless people, right?
Of course.
They did a regression. They gave a regression analysis of the tickets distribution, right? And
that's surprising.
Not the people without helmets riding all the Ubers around Microsoft campus or the zippy bikes, right? Not the people driving around Lake Union by Google Town, but the people driving around the stadium with their shopping carts, right?
See, I would have felt like
writing tickets to. So they
I
had
would've
to
felt like
repeal it because it's transparency now, right? You could see everything. Some kid with a spreadsheet and a laptop ran the regression analysis and made a pie chart and put it on the local news and made a laughing stock out of him. And they repealed the law in a fucking week.
I'm surprised because I figured on the left coast there that it would be the opposite, that they would just be pulling people over that look like they have money because they know that they're a fucking, not the empty bag with the homeless person that they know has no money, But,
no, dude, it's communist out here. You don't get it. There's like classes, like literal Politburo shit. Like you work for Microsoft, Google, or Amazon. You have a little star on your lapel. You could like literally like be gang raping children at First Avenue, and it'd be okay. But
hey,
don't walk on the lawn. Don't do that.
Right? I think they're back. Are they back?
Shit. The enforcement mechanism out here is bought and paid.
Yeah.
Hey.
Holy
shit! Quad stream. Holy
What's
shit.
going on?
Am I late? Did I come in late?
Nah.
There is no late. There is only now.
Yeah, you're late.
Right on. How is everybody?
Oh, fucking
Good.
great.
We're back.
Stan, okay. Well, you're stable. keep rolling.
So
okay, so I kind of told the audience you were headed north. You
Hey,
decided.
Stan, tell your story. I'm going to get a question, and if you can work it in, tell your story. I'm just curious, what's your primary source of income?
So my primary source of income is crypto.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Stan
So
worked it early.
So the thing is see this guy right here?
What was that? A beer?
Yeah,
No.
the beer.
Nice.
So my philosophy is how much do you waste on beer? Waste that on Bitcoin and crypto.
Yep.
Every single paycheck.
Yes.
Every
Listen to him.
paycheck religiously. Because if you're throwing money away, throw a little towards yourself. And so I did that for years. Not anything big. $10, $20 a week. On a big week, maybe 50.
Well, if you did $10 in Bitcoin in 2010, you're fucking all set.
So I actually started in 2016.
Okay. So did I.
And then I rode the market up into its height into 2017.
Nice.
And like had all that go down by like 90%.
Yeah. It does that.
Then I purchased all the way through the dry market, and just keeping the philosophy now. My philosophy now is when we are below the 20-day, start looking. When we're below the 50-day, start grabbing. And that's when, and then in those times is when you buy every week. You don't have to buy a lot, but buy throughout the winters, buy the dips. If we are not below a 20-day moving average, you are buying too high.
It's interesting.
You're trying to jump in and be antsy. So because you learn long time in the market that you just have to have patience and
Wouldn't
just wait.
you say the housing
So like right
market,
now, I cash out and I'm in hell of profit, like to help get the house and everything ready to be able to sell. So crypto's been covering the market, the mortgage. Crypto's what got us the house in the first place. So it's going to get us what's going to sell the house. And then the profit from the house, we're buying land, which is a real asset. There's no more bank involved. We own the land. We have the deed. It's ours. Nice. So no more mortgage every month, which would be absolutely perfect. And I think that's good for all of us to shoot for. Then like that's one thing when people going to buy land right now, if you can't buy it cash, you don't want it, because if you have a bank involved, that gives the bank the rights to the land, not you. And it makes it very easy for courts to be able to evict you off your land if there's a bank, because they can simply have the bank do it.
You've had the bank take land.
Yeah, I've had that happen to me in the past.
When you got to Washington, Stan, you went to work at what, a metal cutting fabrication plant?
So
it was a robotic plant or something, right?
So what I did was we actually lived in the van for like 6 years, and you can the Lots Project, go watch the first episode because we talk our backstory, and we're going to be on there again on the 26th. So check that out. But anyways,
I'm halfway. It's so interesting.
So I I came up here, I actually started working at a restaurant because I have that kind of experience, because you can get in a restaurant now.
But I was trying to get at, like, everybody's sitting at like middle management jobs making like 40 to like 80K.
That used to be me.
Wanking that they can't invest in crypto to get off their ass and do it. And you're living in a van and you've bought a house and parlayed into like going to be major acreage now because you saved a little bit of your little bit.
I showed off to the banks. So you got to have 2 years of work history, right? So in those 2 years of my work history, each year I doubled my income.
So if you're going to use the man's money, you got to play the game. So you went and got a W-2 job.
You got to play their game. So we knew prior to coming into this house, this was not forever. This house was the key, because we could trick the bank into giving us the leverage to get this house. And
by the way, it's not a trick.
We could have bought 10
acres. Zero down first time buyer program. It's real.
Yeah,
right. There was many options around here, but we chose this because of the neighborhood it was in. This is a very unique gem. It's in
you bought it to resell from day one, right?
No, would be the next much more. So have big, you want a lot of land or whatever. They start off by buying like a huge piece or spending more than what you can really afford. Like,
damn it.
Yep. He's going good too.
I know.
I was trying to shut up. Bobby Joe was like, stop talking over each other. That's me. Sorry, Bobby Joe.
We're amateurs here, Bobby Joe.
Just my bad.
A bit of a lag too.
Okay.
No, definitely do it in all caps because I'm an amateur. Okay, Stanley, I think you're back. Hold on. Try test 1, 2.
Hey, I'll be right back.
For some reason, tech place.
I love Jon Needs Coffee.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Thanks, Tim, for popping in.
I'm so sorry. I had 4:00 Pacific time.
No worries. Stan, we'll give you thumbs up when I hear you really good. So how's your fireside chats going?
Really good. Yeah.
Say the name of the show. I said it wrong. Everybody listen.
Fireside Freedom. Every Tuesday night. Yeah, 6:00 Mountain Time. Man, we need like this standard North American internet time or something.
Yes. Podcast time.
That's
SPT.
it. I think you could patent that. I think there, or at least
Standard
make it open source.
Podcast time, North America.
Yes.
SPTNA.
Standard podcast time. Yeah.
Right? Or Americas, because you could use it throughout all the. We'd have to base it maybe like more like centrally time than mountain or west.
All those.
Oh shit!
Yep.
No, okay. Here, we'll get Jon Needs Coffee off of there. I can at least do that.
There we are.
But okay. Hey, have you seen my little crypto index that I'm posting? What do you think?
I think it's really cool. It's simple, brief, to the point. They're the only other thing that I've seen where they do crypto all the time is that constant live feed on Float. But it's more of I think it includes stocks and stuff too. It's just too much. I mean, I'm not dissing them. I'm just saying, like, for me, it's like, I like, what it reminds me of, because we're old, is when you used to get the newspaper and you'd want like just the ball scores or just the base. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Just go to the box scores. Give me the, like, what's going on in the game. All right, Stan, if you roll, I'm just going to put you on and then you just go.
All right.
Yeah, you're going. You're going.
Right here? We're good.
Yes.
All right, awesome. Yeah, we ended up getting plugged into the computer to charge it, and that was a bad charging place because it wanted to suck all the files off for the photos and everything.
You're sucking your
plug into the wall if you got a charge, not into the computer.
Oh, good. Okay, now we got you for conversating.
So anyways, shit, where was I even talking about? I think
you were just you're going. You decided to go north, right? And you're going to pick up some serious acreage. And we talked about the like bugs down south versus the like cold. You're going to have to deal with cold. It's what Dowie talks about in every episode of everything he does.
That's because that's all I do.
Was talking about land acquisition
and Tim,
when we cut it out.
The Canuck.
We're leveraging our scale to buy that land. We knew that before we even got into this. So the house we actually bought under market value, and it was already flipped, but they just didn't realize what the value was at the moment. So we started out in the positive. And then the landscaping was like shit. It was just, but there was some potential. And it's in a nice neighborhood where people are attracted to. We're unincorporated, so we don't pay any of the tax that they do close to here. So you have all these benefits of having everything close, but not the high taxes of actually being in Bonnie Lake or the other cities. And you're not on like Bonnie Lake water. So your water is like not much is what the city is paying.
So now we are going.
So finding this gem basically improved landscaping, and we're overhauling the house just a little bit. Well,
Oh,
Nice, good. You're there. Keep going. We see it. Go for it. We can't hear him.
NFA again every time.
We could do like a Mystery Science Theater 3000 thing with the video.
Oh my God. I was watching that last night for State of the Union. There's a guy in the Netherlands doing that. Oh my God. It was killing me.
Hey guys, just check in to see if we can hear you, and we'll let you know when we can hear you. We can't hear you right now though.
Fuck. Oh, so Tool Man, yeah, you're up north. So they're going to be in northern Michigan. So they're going to do underground greenhouses. You're thinking like taking excavators and like going down 10 feet, right? And then like glass topping them or acrylic top or something, you know.
That's a big job. There's someone south of me, and I mean, you know what it's like up here. I mean, if you know, I guess if
you're in the rocky part, right? The Calgary.
No, I'm on the flat. You know, where you can see your dog run away for 4 hours or whatever.
So wind is, because that's what I told him. Wind is going to be your issue more than anything.
Yes, and we have a greenhouse here in town. You can buy it. Nobody's ever seen it. Wind cloth, or it's like a shade wind cloth, and it allows 40% of the wind through. A lot of people probably know it, but I just learned about it last summer.
Is it
and there's 40, 70. Yeah, you can get whatever.
Yeah.
Degree you want.
Yeah,
I put it up in the summer here for my ducks and on this one side of my quail pen, just because they bake. Because basically my quail pen is a Texas prepper greenhouse structure, right?
Yeah.
Covered with this stuff called Cal Wall, which is like, I don't know if people know what that is, but basically you look at a high rise and they got that like whitish glass opaque looking stuff on the windows. They make that double sided this stuff Cal Wall. I get it.
Stuff in between
fiberglass. Well, I just get the sheets. I don't get the stuff in between. I get the outer skin, right?
Okay.
As seconds, because the factory's right up around here.
Nice.
Anyway, so my quail bake in the sun, so I throw that. But that stuff's great, man. You can get that at Harbor Freight too, right in the tarp section.
You always rub it.
Yeah, there's different percentages because it matters if you put it over a crop.
I think at Harbor Freight, here's this one, and that's what you get.
Yeah. Stuff with it.
But it's something. I don't know.
All right, test your audio, Stan. Test 1, 2.
I feel so bad for him.
I know. Well, we got the first half of the story out.
Hey Tim, I love the.
We'll get the movie to there. He's on it. His plans for building a place are kick ass.
We can see you.
The whole beauty of starting. Like, because literally helping to move his stuff out, I was moving out angle iron, like 4-inch stainless pipe we were throwing out. And that's why I couldn't let him take that to the dump. Then I made him put a Craigslist, come get it sign out.
Oh, good.
And they literally came and got everything. But at some point, you got to like cut bait because you were moving. Like, he's literally 14 days. The realtor's like, oh no, there's the list of people that are going to bid. So just, You got to be ready. And you got to be ready to go, because then it's real. You are going.
I've got to put one of those in my office, John. My coffee pot's upstairs, and it's damn near impossible to get coffee.
I have a coffee pot in my garage. I have a coffee pot at my office. I have an air fryer here.
That old thing kills me. You run those pots full, like 12 cup?
That's a little one. That's a 6 cup.
Oh. Yeah, mine's a 12. I'm drinking Peruvian bouquet or bouquet, however you pronounce it.
Hey, Tim, you're about to do coffee?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
What do you want to? Well, what do you want to know?
I don't know anything. I just heard you mention you're doing a drop ship or no.
I say be really friendly to your roaster. I was looking up like my ability to go get things at the giant effing warehouse.
So what's the system? What do you got going on?
Yeah, so I gotta pick his brain a little bit too at some point. But yeah, so there's a company in Ottawa, so they're Canadian, and I love their slogan. They're like roasting coffee using modern means the 1930s way. So they kind of, I thought that was pretty cute, right?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So anyway, it's a really slick operation, but you set up with a monthly fee. They set you up with like a Shopify website, which is totally branded your way. We brought in 15 types of coffee to test. I think we're going to start with maybe 6 to 8 blends, something like that. So you design your own labels. They have 3 or 4 different bag types. So it gives you your own look, right? They have these really cool brown paper bags that look like lunch bags.
Craft.
Yeah, craft. That's it. Yeah.
Yep.
Then they got these white ones that are like see-through, and then your traditional black bags. And so you design the logo, you pick your coffee, and then you name it. And then it's up to you to do all the legwork, right? Or all the promotional work. They handle everything. Yeah. It's really cool. So this company, go ahead.
So you don't touch anything?
Nothing at all. And we can talk about the finances another time, but it's a really good deal, like really good. I don't know how much I'm allowed to say publicly, because it's like, you know what I mean? But as far as
fine.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Like it's and then so basically it's I don't know, it's 33% or 40%.
Okay, so that is a white label project described beautifully. All you have to do is have the idea and the brand,
yes,
and the channel to sell the thing in, and you shouldn't have to do any except send them orders. So do nothing.
Get this, okay? So we started researching company names. So the reason I want to do this is because all of my friends who sell coffee live in the U.S. And as you know, maybe you don't.
You can't.
Yeah, it's damn
ridiculous.
Impossible, right?
Because food going across the border commercially has to be like hand inspected, and like you can't. It's stupid. This thing.
Yeah, when I get seeds from Mum Sprouting, I get 1,000 pounds of pea seeds in a whack, and every fucking box is destroyed.
Yeah, right. Because they literally it takes whatever time it takes. They don't give it. So a perishable product is ridiculous because it's dead.
Weird aside, I had to get a fucking importing license from the feds here to bring 50 whole pounds of corn seeds into the United States from Canada, and it was a U.S. origin crop.
And that's why
kind of stuff is all. So when I worked at the farm store, I had no idea that like canola, for instance, is like patented and owned, and the farmer can't even buy the seed. Well, okay, they buy the seed, but they're not allowed to reseed it or
if it seeds, you have to kill it. You can propagate.
Yeah, that's a whole Monsanto thing, basically. That's I learned about that when I was deep dive into permaculture.
Evil.
Hey guys.
Hey.
Okay, roll, Stan. You got
all right. I don't know what the fuck. I got 100 meg connection solid to cable, and I'm having issues. But
you're like,
anyways,
they lied.
Try that.
So the reason why we chose Northern Michigan is because we literally scowled across the entire United States, every state, and looked at the different zonings and permitting and laws. And so Michigan actually has the best cannabis laws in the world. That's not the main reason, but what it does is allows us to grow enough that we can supply ourselves without becoming illegal. because there's no state that you can actually grow enough for yourself in the sun to produce for a good active user like myself and be able to have enough for a year. Like to stay in my limits here, I'm done in like 2 months.
And then also people go up to the UP and hunt. And so there's all kinds of off-grid cabins. Like that's just what people go there to do.
People don't go there to live. People go there to visit because they have beautiful fall, all the colors. They have a beautiful summer with all the fresh water and
lots
streams
of snowmobiling.
Largest lakes in the world. So
UP is beautiful.
And it's absolutely beautiful there. And the thing is you're so remote in the land there because people don't move there to live. They move there, they get land there to hunt or whatever. During these times, there's this huge focus on the South. You know, go to Florida, go to Ecuador, go to Texas. But if you look at their laws, if you look at the South is the least free states there are.
And they always have been.
Yeah, I agree with that. What about, did you look at Maine?
Yes.
Maine is beautiful. We did
Maine, Vermont.
I know there are cannabis laws. I know Maine's cannabis laws are really lenient. I know New Hampshire sucks because that's where I live, and you can't. I've never smoked in my life, but I'm all for whoever doing whatever they want. But I know the laws here are bullshit. Live free or die trying. But like Maine seems to be very like what you're looking for with that. That's why I'm just curious how the cannabis laws from Maine to UP compare.
So okay, in Michigan, you can legally sell an ounce to anyone, and you can grow up to 12 plants. However, if you get caught selling more than 2.5 ounces to 2 pounds, there's no legal action taken, and the fine is 0.
So you could legally sell ounces to your hip campers.
Caught growing more than 12 to 20, then there's no penalty. And if you get caught growing more than 20 to 200, there's no penalty.
So they have it on the books.
There's no penalty for anything.
That's crazy. I live in Canada. That's crazy.
Exactly. And the fines are 0.
4 up here. 4 plants you can grow.
Yeah. So it's essentially like here's a law that we're not going to enforce. Is basically what it is.
Yeah. We have nobody that cares. So yeah, something's got to get written down. We'll write it down.
Right.
Huh.
Oh, but I like the idea of the fact that you could legally sell ounces to your guests.
Shit went sideways, guys.
Maine-wise, I was under the impression. So I sold some materials and whatever pallets and shit to a guy in Maine that grows pot, and he had moved there from Texas to grow, and his whole thing was like, I can do whatever the fuck I want here, and that's why I'm kind of surprised that they don't really square up. You guys are sideways, but can we hear you?
Well, that's probably if you're gonna like. No, fuck their audio. Your audio is gone, Stan. When they go sideways, their audio goes wankadoodle.
When it goes fucking sideways, it really goes sideways, man.
You guys ever been through the UP, the Upper Peninsula?
I avoid all the cold possible, so you'll never see me where you live, and you'll never fucking catch me in the UP. I don't care if they have 4,000 religious laws all over the fucking southern United States. If I move, I'm going there.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I used to ski up there. I just remember cold as hell.
It's beautiful country. We went through there years ago. We decided to go cross country, and we drove the old way, like the Route 1 or whatever. Oh, miserable, but it was fun. You know, UP's cool.
The attorney that I had on, if you go back and listen to the show where I had on the attorney Mark, he's gonna come on and start doing like little segments. He's into vinyl now, so he's gonna we're gonna name him DJ Jervinsu, and he's gonna do like a little record because he knows the history of the old jazz albums and stuff. So just a little segment, and then maybe play us a minute or two or whatever. But he just sold their family estate was 580 acres on Lake Superior on the lake.
Wow.
And the only thing was he couldn't find a Stanley. He couldn't find anybody that wanted to go run it, like do the work, the real work. Like physically go be in that harsh oven environment and run a place. Like couldn't find a body. So I sold it, you know.
I'm having an ADHD moment, so forgive me, but this whole connectivity issue that they're having makes me think, of course, because this is what I do. It's a fucking, it's a problem. You set up a studio somewhere where people can do interviews.
Yeah, they're out on the end of they are like at the end of civilization. It's the mountain past them.
For a business.
Oh,
yeah.
Get yourself a small office building, have rooms that are soundproofed, rent that shit out. I need to do an interview for a job. I need to go on a show. I need to do this. I need to do that. I don't have the means. Fucking go down. You pay $50. You get the place for 2 hours. You're good to go. Like
they used to do that at adult bookshops, but it's for a different story.
Yeah, you get the booth for 10 minutes.
Booth?
Holy shit.
The booth? Just whatever you do, don't put your mouth near the hole.
Yeah, unless that's what you're into.
Oh my God. Okay, you want to hear the most hilarious story on connectivity and moving the laptop around? So I had jury duty on Monday.
Oh God. Nullify.
Well, I don't consider it lying when they declare war on me, right? We're under rules of war, so it's not so. But the one question that he did answer on the fill it back out in paper and send it back in was that I wouldn't be wearing a mask due to religious reasons. So they did the whole bullshit for like 2 hours. Oh my God. The one guy's business is going to collapse if he's not there for this trial, right? The other lady's 20 minutes of crying for her daughter who's going to be committing suicide because she's not going to be home to like take care of her, and the judge won't let her out because she sounds like she'll be impartial enough. Like 2 other guys are literally like, no, he got charged. He's guilty. The state's, oh no, you'd have to you do crazy shit for me to find him. Not like she won't let them out, right? They're qualified. So.
But they've already got their mind made up.
Yeah.
Right. She lets them stay on, begs them to actually stay on, right? Because it's a number of bodies. And so the very end gets to me like, one last question, like juror 73. This trial will actually be held at the King County Courthouse. We're under, fucking crazy mask rules. It says here, religious objection. And I said, I will never dehumanize myself. And like, you can see her hand reach out.
Your terminology. Good.
5 words. I didn't even get to what my religion was, what my objection was, that the CDC had said, fucking stop it. Like they're worse for you than not, like anything. Oh, trust me. I was going into nullification next. It was going to be like, don't judge the human until you judge the law. And if the law is fuck you, then fuck the law. The human's always innocent against the state. Oh, I was going to get flamed out either way, but I got to get in. So the other jurors had to sit through 2.5 hours of hearing people lie for 30 minutes about why they wanted out, wouldn't get let out. All I did was say 5 words of truth. And boom, unfit to serve.
That's awesome. Oh,
wow. Can you hear me still?
Yeah.
You know what?
Okay.
When you're spraying a hose of bullshit, people can see.
So John was asking about the coffee. I got to share this. Oh, well, unless they're back.
No, go ahead and finish the coffee story.
No,
Finish the coffee story. We'll see if their stream will stabilize.
All right.
You guys okay?
Yeah. Can you hear us?
Perfect. Go for it.
We're good?
Okay, go, Stan. Go.
Yeah.
I'm not going to make you big this time. I think that could be the problem. I'm just going to keep it in squares.
I've done everything, so I isolated it down. So hopefully this will be good for now. So
it's all closed. Okay, so Michigan, yeah, you're going up. It's going to be cold.
So the thing is about the UP is for literally over 100 years, that whole place has existed on its own. And they're just kind of their own people up there. It's a lot of people from like Switzerland and Netherlands, those areas that came there that are used to that Swedish. They're used to that kind of climate that settled it. And they're all like they just all do their own thing. It's like the least crime in the entire country. There's no meth heads because they just can't survive. There's nothing up there for them to live off of. So in that area, it's you live off of the land if you live there year round, or you don't live there. Like you have to know how to live off the land, or you can't live there.
Are there ore mines or like what's up there? University
copper.
Copper.
Is that the industry up there?
So there's a copper mine just south of Marquette. So which if you look, it's like kind of like right here. The copper mine is
actually north of Marquette on the Keweenaw Peninsula.
So a young welder buck might make some extra dough on the side up there, huh?
Yeah.
Maybe from Michigan.
So, and then they do a lot of the processing over here in Superior.
That's fantastic.
No. Superior's over here.
No, that's another state.
You're looking at the land. This is the water.
Okay. What's your plan for the homestead? So what's the first thing you're going to do? So
the first thing. So now that we're at this stage, basically we're getting everything out of the house. We're cutting everything down to just the materials that are necessary. So like the wood chipper, chainsaw, those things for when we get there. And what I'm doing is I'm rebuilding the back of an RV, and so I completely gutted it, and it's not
only just an RV. It's an old Dodge,
it's a Dodge Sportsman. It's a 76. It is the mystery machine. Yeah. It is the mystery machine.
As long as you brought
exact headlights,
Chrysler before 1980, you're okay.
Before 80, yeah. It's 70s. Right. It's 70s.
You're fine then. Oh no.
No.
So what I'm going to do is build an aviary in the back 4 feet, and that's going to house our ducks and our pigeons for the drive.
That's cool.
And it's going to be Beverly Hillbillies of epic proportion. I love it.
Just everything will work for the big trip.
Internet.
Mission building law. No one be able to do anything. The only time one gets in.
Oh no!
Is if
what if they go to audio only?
Yeah, try audio only. Try killing your video.
Down at the bottom, there's a little bar and it says mute, stop cam settings. Hit stop cam. Right?
Yeah, try the cam. They should have like icon mode or something where you could put an icon on. Yeah, here you go.
They do actually.
Oh, they do? Can you put an icon up?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we've done it before. I know we have.
That would be a great thing for.
There, you had it.
There
you go, right there. Yep.
Yeah, try that. Oh yeah, try that, Stan.
Just try that.
Can you hear us?
You're good-looking people, but we don't have to see you.
Yeah, shit.
Oh,
that's not working either. I wonder if they can hear us. No. Ah, shit. Okay, well, tell the coffee. Okay, so you're rolling on the coffee. White Label's truly kind of like the whole business just got set up for you. You give them the idea, make the pick.
Yeah, so these guys, I got to pick. Anyway, they during COVID, because of course their big business was restaurant, hotels, that kind of shit, right? Completely fell to pieces.
Yep.
And so they pivoted, and they're like, hey, so they blew me away because when you sign up or when you first talk to them, they're like, hey, get on a Zoom call. And I'm like, is this some kind of multi-level marketing scheme, So I did it because I wanted to talk to them, and they impressed the hell out of me. So it just blew me away and they have an in-house, so they get into printing as well and designing because, coffee labels, they do mugs, they do shirts, all that kind of stuff too. So it's really kind of cool. And so anyway, branding, super important, right? And so don't ever be scared to try something crazy. We literally typed in Canadian Coffee Company. We did a name search. We did a URL search, and it's available. And I'm like, that is, I know it sounds generic, but it's literally Canadian Coffee Company. And who doesn't search Google for Canadian, if you're Canadian, of course, Americans are.
And that was, you got that for like $13?
Oh, I did. Yeah. And I locked it down.
God.
Yeah.
Is it a .com? It's a .com.
I'm 95% sure it's .com. Yeah.
How did you get that?
I said to Becky, we just need to try it. And she's like,
that's like you bought Bitcoin at 10 cents.
Coffee words are ridiculous. If you're trying to buy a Google Word thing, coffee's like $5 a click. It's one of the highest categories there is.
But see, we live up here in this weird, Yeah, I know. I said, so don't ever sell yourself short. Try the obvious first, something that,
Wow.
and we got lucky. So,
Okay.
and I needed a product to sell. So,
No, and your whole pitch, right? The whole thing about how that's what my coffee club really is, right? When I get to 100 and shut the door, the people who are going to bid up the next round of being able to buy
yes,
are only going to be people who intend to resell. So like Brian at Lots
Oh.
Project started Lots Blend.
yes,
He won't ever touch that. Same thing, right?
yes.
Orders will come through. He'll use his vendor portal, order
Yep.
from me, delivered. All he'll just see is money.
Brian, you
So, like-
roast, right?
So
Yeah,
that's what
Brian
I
does.
do. That's what I do in the US. But what I want you to think about, Tim, is everything you look at, you're building a Tim the Tool Man brand that is fucking cool.
Yes.
White label exists in everything, not just coffee. I help people make white label jerky, make white label meat sticks. Like
My next one's steak spice. That's the next one.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Because
Oh.
you can buy it in friggin' bulk, and I don't like people like, why do you talk about this shit? Because I want other people to do it too. I don't care, right?
I was thinking the same thing when you were telling the coffee story. I was like, maybe don't say this.
It doesn't matter. No, it seriously doesn't matter.
I have
Because
that
you know what?
with this though.
95% of people won't get off their ass and do it.
I know,
That's
but
the
I have a bad experience with this because I did my YouTube stuff and
But you
I
have
have
to
a
have
guy I have a guy that competes with me because
Right.
of that. So like I'm a little hesitant about that now.
I get it. But you know what? If they want to, go ahead. Whatever. You know what
I'm
I mean?
fine,
Like,
but you know,
yeah. Because
you're selling to
honestly,
your market, right? Tim,
Right.
people are buying from you because they want to buy from you. It's
I'm not going to
you're
have Bilbo
going to-
Baggins from Toronto, Ontario message me. And I mean, maybe someday, but they're not going to be like, hey, I want Toolman. They don't know who the fuck Toolman Tim is, right? So,
yeah, but you're building an online presence community. That's a great add-on for that.
Yeah, it's and Father's Day is coming up. If that's
Yeah.
not the ultimate time for a
And they get to
combo
support-
pack of
Yeah.
Tool Man shit,
They get to support
on.
you. They get to support you, and they like you, and they get
Yeah.
the product, and it's a win all around. You know, it's actually what the free market's supposed to be.
yeah, I've got
Everybody's happy.
I got like a half dozen ideas like that, but I'll only allow myself to work on one at a time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
here's
got to
a
get
secret,
it going.
secret tip. Maybe
Yeah.
you could make some like super cool, like one-off stickers or something kind of flat and easy to include in the shipments and
Listen,
send
that's
it.
my next thing.
Send
But
it
it's
to
not
the
stickers,
plant,
it's really
and when
close.
they send it outbound for you, they just throw them in the box, right?
That's a
I was
great idea.
listening. I was listening to Jack's show yesterday. He did with SOE Tack. What's his name?
Tackett. Oh, I haven't heard it yet. How'd
You
that
guys
go?
all turn in on the same stuff I'm turning on here. Go.
Yeah, and
Great.
he was talking about how he has gummy bears and he was talking about
Write
all
this
this
shit down.
stuff and how he has like hit a certain amount of money and get something for free and like how people will add this stuff on just to get to that number. That was interesting. That show got me thinking about stuff, but
Okay, so my
inspired the
strategy,
hell out of
this
me.
is hilarious, right? I save so much money when people order more stuff because I hated in the beginning of having a price plus shipping because everybody hates the kick in the dick at the end. So everything just became whatever. The price is the fucking price. But when you order multiple stuff and you get a shirt and then you get some coffee and you get something else, right? I put the shipping in everything. So I just ethically, I don't want to bleed anybody. I want you to get I want to get a better deal than you ever asked for. So I just put more shit in the box. Right?
Nice.
My manufacturing cost is my cost. If I don't make profit on something that I just gave you, then fucking whatever. It's marketing.
Yeah.
Right. We all save money. You hopefully got such a better deal than you bargained for that you'll tell a friend. Right.
I've got this horrible problem, of course, that when you look at when you look at my analytics, 95% of my audience is south of the border, right? And like 2% is up here. So which is great.
Mexico.
Yeah. See that?
Get Nicole to run your Southern product, Tim.
Yes.
Jesus.
So like things like this are great. Anything that you can take, not that you're going to make a shit ton on stickers, right? But
Whatever.
anything I can put in an envelope and put in the mail and sell for, I think the stamp is like $1.10 to ship to the States. It's going to take 4 weeks to get there, but at least it's so anything I can put in an envelope is great, or anything that I can sell and ship from the States. I just did a giveaway. Everything on that giveaway comes from Amazon.com. So I get the person's address, I pay for it, it ships right to them, and I never
possess it in Canada.
Exactly.
Yes, that's a beautiful idea. Then you reach into the US. Shoot, you're going to go down and be LFTN spring.
Yes.
You should take your recipes down to her unless you've signed some global worldwide contract with your Canadian guys. You should have Nicole be your US distribution point.
See, we should have done an after show, guy. Anyway, but yeah, I get whatever this is. It doesn't matter to me. But
we are at an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've now covered basically nothing in an hour and a half.
You know, this is
this is going to be a sad episode, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No, it's how you build businesses. You gotta expand any which way you can. Take advantage.
I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out how. So I don't have any experience with this kind of stuff, really. I just kind of bash my fucking head against the wall until something works. And I'm trying to figure out how to design and sell some sort of a home microgreens growing thing, right? And I want to build the fucking Arrr garden. I think that's dumb, but it's to me, it's like, okay, what are my steps? Do I go to Amazon or do I go to like Alibaba and try to work with some company?
No, do it. You will slit your wrist before it's done.
Yeah,
I will tell you. I will make you go have beers with some people in Michigan that made.
Yeah. Well, and how do you get something that looks nice? That's like a shelf that you could mount to your wall with like some LED lights attached to the bottom where you can put your tray.
Let somebody do it that has massive capital or prepare to play that game.
Here, what about this? What if you offer a package like a video or a download or so here, you know, so you sell it to the person. I don't know, whatever it is, $49.95 or $29.95. And it's a complete step-by-step private YouTube video where you show them exactly how to put it together. You give them an Amazon list, and then you get your commission or your Amazon affiliate money off that as well. So they buy everything from Amazon. You tell them how to put it together. We'll talk about it later.
Nice. I think they're showing me the microgreen shelf that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's your microgreen shelf.
That's actually exactly what I was thinking.
Dowie, you'll never compete on price against plastic from China.
Well, that's what I was like. Maybe I could get some plastic shelves that look
okay. Then you're not.
If it's for you, make it out of nice materials that are gonna last.
No, it's not for me. It's for a package that people can buy on Amazon.
To make it as a saleable thing, but you're selling the you part.
And then my thoughts were later. So,
if you're gonna sell something on Amazon, do not handle anything yourself. Yeah. Just simply do. What you can do is you can do kits. Yeah. So you find different distributors that sell different shit, and when someone orders something, you just have it all sent to them. You just consolidate the order.
Separate boxes come from Amazon in the same whack.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I was going to do maybe that, and then also on my website maybe, and then the continuing business is people ordering seeds from me, and I would just send them. I got to look up laws on seeds.
Packetize them.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any rules or whatever, but it'd just be the same seeds I'm using.
Might be with your seed
subscription
seller.
Most places have no laws against it at all.
Okay.
Unless you are growing and selling invasive species.
Nope. These are like green fucking peas.
Yeah, because everybody needs the microgreens. And if you're running more microgreen seeds through, you're getting into being able to buy like bigger than I already am. I sell green coffee beans just so I can buy more beans.
Yeah. Bigger than
I actually have an idea for that.
I want some.
So I want to talk to you about, Brian. So what I'm going to do is design a home roaster, right? That will do 1 pound and under air roaster that sits on your counter, and make it so it goes like, and it has a grinder attached. So it'll roast it, and then it'll go in the grinder. So you can grind as much as you want for like, a big pot or just your personal cup or like an espresso. And then what you do is it's just a monthly subscription. And so the people buy green beans completely. You never have to sell, you never have to roast. And then you can digitize it. So that way you just run it on a little Raspberry Pi. And every month they can get an update. So they don't have to know what times and everything. They just dump the beans in
Look up
And
Bellwether.
then they make sure that they upload new recipes.
Yeah.
For whatever beans they get.
You're a coffee roaster, but you're just roasting it at their house remotely.
Right.
Bellwether.
Exactly.
They were the SCA vendor of the year.
And then they have
of the year last year.
Is that already a thing? Then
No.
is that what you're saying?
Commercially in a giant scale, not the home.
Oh, Bellwether.
Yeah, they were product of the year 2 years in a row.
Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean your thing. I meant what he was saying.
No, yeah, what Stan just said.
It's great on audio when I point at people.
It's called Bellwether for the commercial version, and it came out 2 years ago, but it's no one's homed it. The home market is the. Yeah, you should do that, Stan.
It's an awesome idea.
There's a crazy guy in Minnesota that I'll introduce you to.
It's the anti-K cup.
Yeah, because
there's your marketing.
So much waste.
I fucking hate K cups.
Green beans can come in a paper bag.
K cups make me want to fight people.
Longer, right?
Yeah.
If you go listen to my Scramblin' University episode, I tell you the whole story of K cups from the beginning, from the inside, because we were
right around here.
We were the paper pod competitor. We were the beta VHS. Oh, yep. I lived through the story from the beginning. I tell the whole thing.
Wow,
that's cool.
It's a great episode.
He's a Vermont dude, right, or something?
He wrote an apology letter to Planet Earth.
He's from Vermont, though, I think, right? He lives around here.
Yeah. He's a greenie that realized that he effed the planet with more plastic than anybody else has ever created, really, and took the price of coffee up by 10 times to the consumer and delivered shitty stale coffee.
At least now they're making machines that'll do both, at least, so you have an option here.
There's the little inserts that you can get for the K cups that are stainless steel
to put real coffee
in. Your own coffee in, because my sister had one of those. And it was kind of convenient, but I'd just throw my own coffee grounds in it. But I'd always overload it and make a mess.
I got that from my parents, and they never used it.
No, they're a mess.
Boomers.
They're a mess. All right, Tim, what were you on? You were riffing on something earlier.
Use a French press or get yourself an actual espresso machine. That's all it is. Yeah. An espresso machine with plastic. And they just put a dusting of coffee in it.
I just bought an espresso machine just for espresso. So it sits right next to my white trash Mr. Coffee. I get this beautiful little espresso machine. I'm just a drip coffee guy, man. I don't have time to wait for it to go through or whatever.
See, that's what I was envisioning. So you have your hopper above, right? And then it below you have a roasting chamber. And so you can roast enough to do 12 cups? Because that's what the big
72 grams. So you'd have to have a 100 gram roaster.
Do a 30 cupper or whatever for the big coffee drinkers, But make sure you can do a decent amount, and then all the way down to a small amount. And those are going to have different roasting times. So you just have them choose it per 1 cup, 5 cups, 20. Not so individually. And
I
then
think
you can just set the different roasting times for each. It's just automated. So it goes, it blows, the timing, it drops out, and then it just falls into the grinding chamber, grinds, and then you have the espresso thing. And then so all they have to do is pull it out, pack it.
There's a reason that the roast masters are all making 200,000 a year.
Freshly roasted espresso.
And that is so
frothy. You get such a great head when the beans are roasted right then. And it goes in espresso. It's just you got that white thick layer. People just.
You just live stream one of the best ideas of all time. Way to go!
Everybody's running out to their garage with their welders.
That's join in.
I think you could do that.
People have different tastes. You know what I mean?
You could do that with a 6-cup.
Different designs and different things. Maybe you make it go into a French press or whatever the fuck.
Nah, you could just make that simple 6-cup drip coffee maker that roasts it and grinds it, man, and people would buy the shit out of it. You don't even need all these options. Just real simple.
You're right.
Prototype design, just make it easy.
Too many choices.
That's a lot of the gas stations up here, the high end, the ones. They grind it and brew it. And it's
amazing.
Incredible. I know.
Okay.
I was there one day, and the guy who services the machines, and I'm geeking out over this thing, and I'm like, "Can you show me the insides? How's it work? What's it do?" And I'm like, "This is crazy." It was.
It's just a grind and brew. I had a grind and brew Cuisinart whatever for years, but it just kept fucking. It would get here's your challenge. the steam from the pot will plug up the grinder. So you don't, you should do.
See,
is
that's why I
offset
was
that
thinking
shit.
espresso, because it goes into the grinder and then they move it over to the steam. It's not in the same spot.
Yeah, exactly. Offset it or something.
So in my coffee brewing class, the grinding and brewing, like literally when you grind it and you smell all that, right? Those are the terpenes and the flavonoids literally going away. You're not going to taste those. They're leaving now. Bye.
So if you have it all.
So think about a coffee bean, right? You shatter it. You now have 1,000,000 times the surface area you did 5 seconds ago. So it's oxidizing at the exact same rate it was 5 seconds ago, except now you X'd it 1,000,000. So every second, tick, tick, tick. 90 seconds later, you have coffee that has 50% less flavor. I can fucking prove it with a graph and a map and some scientific shit.
Right. So
prove it. So those people who are like, grind it and send it to me, I like literally text them and send them an email and make them send it back to me that say, you understand you are choosing to buy stale coffee from me. It's so beautiful. My coffee is flawless.
So you disapprove of my year's supply of ground coffee in the closet.
I boil my
and it's
my
perfectly oxidized.
I grind my coffee.
Tastes fine to me. Yeah, I do know.
Mr. Complain all the time.
Look, a year ago when they were like,
don't drink acid water.
A year ago when they were like, coffee supplies going to shit, I was like, fuck you. I did some math. I took a half a cup of grounds, I weighed it, and I multiplied that shit by 365 and divided it by 40, and I bought that many 40-ounce things of McDonald's coffee. That's what I did. But I'm not going to run out of coffee now when it's ridiculous.
Those really nice bags.
But when I want good coffee, I get good
that will keep coffee perfect pretty much to what like 98% of people can taste for a year, right? So as shit started going down, some coffee club members just kicked their order up to 6 pounds, right? And they figured out what their whole bean was. And when they hit their enough backlog, then they just went back down to 2 pounds a month. And now they're just keeping themselves 1 year in their supply of the coffee they like to drink.
So what you're saying is get it whole bean in that bag.
Right. Because that bag is 4 layers, 2 vapor barriers and 2 metal bags.
I can start converting my stock because I did just
drink through it, right? Coffee can.
Yeah.
Your coffee.
It's a prep. So, but then my issue is this. I hate grinding coffee. I have no patience, dude. I'm a New Englander.
Mr. Coffee with the button on it. You like literally put a scale next to it. You dump it in, get the right grams, huck that in the top hopper, hit the button.
I just grind the whole bag at once. I just need to grind the whole bag at once.
No, even simpler. Just get a grinder like this. This is USB.
I have 3 of those.
Just like you fill it up
Works
to like
weed too.
Right up here. You grind it, you pour it right in your French press or your coffee dripper or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't want to do that every day.
It's
the water's boiling hot either way. It takes the same amount of time to boil the water.
No, it doesn't.
Oh my God. So you guys were like the gas station owners, right? They all wanted to make more coffee in less time. It's math. Watts plus milliliters of water plus time. Like you can't cheat math.
No. I'm just talking about the time that it would take me every morning. It's not even the time, it's the annoyance. That to grind my coffee every day, I would never want to do that. It would drive me insane.
50%
that's the power of having an automated system. So you can just have it programmed.
See,
you don't do anything, and then it drops in when you get up. Boom! You
grind and break.
Yes.
No, they exist. They exist.
Yeah.
You got to just keep them clean. The steam's a problem.
But
I want him. I want his
for the Raspberry Pi. Just have a little screen on there, a little video camera. When the person walks in, it recognizes them. Boom! It instantly grinds it and starts roasting it. It's very.
I want
knows you're up.
Yeah, he's up strong enough that you can do that with it.
I want mine to be programmed to where I wake up in the morning and either flip it off or make a shitty face at it. And then it grinds and brews my coffee. And then I'm happy. And then afterwards, when I smile at it, I don't know. I'm just
throws extra sugar in. Oh,
you imagine listening to the recording of this episode?
It's gonna be fantastic. Oh, the slow plan, no plan.
Here's an hour and 45 minutes of not like I don't even.
Yeah. Okay. So the next gooses, it is dumpster fire. I love it. You're gonna interview. Okay. So each goose, your plan is to like have each goose intern get interviewed by all the other geese about their walking away from the system, right? Or their decision to go a different path, something like that.
Yeah, I feel like all of us are self-employed, right? In some capacity. And you know, I think a lot of people are interested in how to get there. And I think just a story of this is where I started to this is where I am, and the details and the steps taken in between, and you know, the mindset involved with that and whatever just would be interesting to people. And I think a lot of it then put out there in little segments and chunks, right? But you know, just a focus.
Powerful, man.
Pepper, I like what you said in the private chat. Pepper the goose is a good term.
Pepper the goose, yeah. Well, it's like Nicole and Brian's Saturday interview. Nicole said with Brian, that Saturday interview is so great because you got the whole backstory to like who you met along the way and what you learned off each person, and then how it helped the journey. That's what it's the great. Yeah, it's so I think those are going to be great episodes, and it's going to let us have like 10 episodes or whatever. Maybe we'll have to have something in the middle of them, or we'll let the audience decide as always. So go on the Telegram for the Unloose the Goose. Have your say. Yeah, maybe once a month. Maybe Tim's right. First week or some shit. I don't know. And you run them now. It's your idea.
Yeah, Tim, you said that.
I didn't even know what
I don't know.
I know.
Tim the ghost. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So tell us where you're at, Tim.
Does that work better?
We'll do the sign off thing. We'll just go around. How about?
Yes,
Tim,
we can hear you.
Oh, yeah. Stan, how about you sign off, then Tim, then Dowie, then me? Where can people reach you, Stan?
All right. So can you guys hear us?
Yeah.
So at asanon.info.
ESANEN.
And then just search Asanon anywhere.
Oh, so here, I'm going to type it in the comments. Spell it really slow.
ESANEN, the name. So our profile name on here, if you look at it.
That's what it was. I forgot the .info earlier because I kept hitting it in wrong. I just put it in the comments right now. So everybody go click on that. Stan's got a super cool crypto project.
And then our YouTube.
And Asanon's on YouTube, right? And probably Odyssey.
Do we have the ESANEN? Okay. ESANEN.info.
Yeah, and cool. It looks like the infinite number sequence spiral thing, kind of purple and black. That's how you'll know when you're there.
Huh.
Very cool.
Tim, what you got?
Cool.
Yeah, let me see. Toolmantim.co. That's the quickest way. What do I got coming up? I got Dave Jones, the NBC guy, nuclear, biological, and chemical of all friggin' things. He's coming on. This was not planned. I just had him booked. So he's going to come on my show on Sunday evening, 7:00 Mountain Time. We're going to talk about all things weird and, but how to build a bunker and that kind of shit. So it'll be fun.
Wow.
Yeah. I shoot big and either, go big or go home, I guess.
Dowie's in two places at once.
Yes.
Now I'm confused.
I was trying to put their screen up. Hey, yeah. So I was trying to put up their logo on the screen, but it didn't work out.
Oh.
The technology failed.
I
don't know, man. I'm John from Dowie Farm. If you want to reach me, you know where to find me. I don't really have anything I'm not trying to sell anything here.
No, but tune in for the series that he's gonna run on, like Goose Inquisition. Grill Jack. That'll be fun day. I bet we hit the triple digit numbers.
You guys got another half an hour? Yes,
yeah, whatever. I'm just hanging out.
Yeah. Do you want to go over to my channel and we'll do a live stream and we'll just yak about your coffee or about your project there, Jon Dowie?
Yeah, send us the link.
We'll be there in 5 minutes.
Hey, everybody, see us over at Toolman Tim. Brian, what do you got?
Foodforestfarms.com. All the things. Come visit. All right, we will check in with you. Go to Toolman Tim YouTube. Yeah, pick up the dumpster fire. I'm going to go get more coffee and roll another joint. I'll be right back. see you.
Honk, honk, motherfucker.
Honk, honk. Live free or die.